that means how are you? How you getting on? That's what it means in Jamaican. Right. Right. Tell you what. Let's get some water into this guy. A little dab of water in there. And a little dab of paint in there. I think I'll have some paint coming in from that side. I'm just making it up. It's just a medded up sky, using some soft bits and some hard bits and making some stuff up. There we are. Aye, that looks nice. Colour. Let's have a look. I think I might have a little bit coming through here, like that. Something like that. I've just got water on this brush, that's all that's on it. Until the brush, obviously, has got paint on it. What do you call two thieves? A pair of knickers. Do you know if you don't change your pants for 6 months, after 6 months they do actually start to wash this end. If you never wash your underpants for 6 months, they start to wash this end. That's what my stepbrother Doofus told me that, so it must be true. Doofus is quite knowledgeable. Why's that almost dry when I've just wet it? This paper soaks in water so fast. If you're on good quality paper, this will be easier to do. This paper's terrible. I'm on just cartridge paper. It's terrible. See these hard lines? You not get any of them if you wet your paper first on some decent paper. But in here, I think it's just soaking it straight in. Must be. I'm pouring it into wet paper and it's just giving me pretty hard lines. I might need to start soaking this paper, but then it disintegrates. Yeah, I'll stop moaning. There we are. Leaving some hard edges. I want some hard edges anyway, you see. Right, that'll do me. That'll do me from the sky. It's quite a nice sky, I think. And if I can just blend it round a little bit, I'm just upside down in. You don't want to go across that way. Always a good way of blending your colours around, this is. That's it, then I'll just go back to normal, carry on painting. Right, so that's that. Right. Now I need some farmer's fields, so I think I'll take that blue, merge it with tiniest bit of green, the very, very tiniest bit. I think I'm going to come right up about here actually. Right, you've got to try and get this line. You haven't got to, but if I were you, I would. I'd say look mentals. Try and get this line vertical. So it wants to be vertical across there. There we are. Nice. Tempted to do a sort of underpainting. Let's have a look, see what that looks like. Tempted to do a sort of underpainting with some greens. So tempted, I'm doing it. This is it. I'm more than tempted, I'm doing it. This is going to be me farmer's fields underneath. So just sort of gradually bleeding in some slight green. Gradually getting a bit lighter and brighter. That should work. That'll do. And that's across there, that's just a ickle bush. Across there. Well, that's far, far away. Right, I need coffee. Just mixing up this bluey greeny colour, so it looks like summer. There, looks like come in this way. Try and keep these lines fairly vertical across. If they start coming down like that, they start looking like a patchwork quilt. So keep them fairly vertical like that. Look. You don't want them horizontal, going straight up. That there, and that there. These are all going to be quite small at this distance because this is far away. So these are small fields. Some of them can be quite faint, virtually disappear. Some of them a bit stronger, so you can see them a bit more. World your lobster, so just use your imagination. Let's have this line here coming across here. See, as you get lower down, you'll make these fields slightly bigger. That's all across there to about there, like something like that. They often do that sort of thing. They get slightly bigger as they get closer. So that's looking pretty nice. I think, so I don't get carried away, I might put my bottom one in here. There's a big thick one in here, so I'm going to put that one in now, because if not I'll get carried away and I'll forget that I need quite a bit. In fact, it needs to be about there. So there's a fence about there, so I'll put that in like that. so I don't forget to put my fence in. So that's that one there. It's in there like that. I think I'll take it down at an angle that'll look quite nice. Down at an angle like that. Then there's another one about here, just above it. Might end up making some of these seem a little bit closer at this rate. Let's see how we go. Make it up as we go along and see how we go. Right, so now I'm going to need some darker green. This is just a blue, yellow and burnt umber to get that brown colour. That's how you get that mucky green. Blue, yellow, burnt umber. Just whatever blue you're using. I've gone cerulean blue in my sky. These are quite big bushes, these ones. There. So, just into some of this, just a hint of it, so you can see it's getting a bit closer than some of the other stuff. So you only want a hint. It's got to look like it's gradually receding back. So that's that. Right. What I'm going to have to do, I'm going to wash my brush. I'm going to try and get sort of this a bit smoother. So it's looking a bit crazy on that bottom bit. So try and smooth that off a bit. That's a bit better. And same with this one. Just smooth that into there a bit. And that can come up a bit. These green bits here come up a bit. That looks nice. Let's put a nice green bit in there, just cause it's that the colour is blending down a bit much there. Right, that's that. Have a look. Let me get a bit of green on the bottom of here again and just soften a bit of that. That's better. That'll do. Right, I think now I need some really dark green. Just for the very bottom. Don't even necessarily have to be in everywhere. Get that where a bit of water's dripped through there. That looks nice. That's just happened on its own. Yeah, it looks nice. Pop a little bit in there. That's it. There we are. So that's a nice sort of effect. I might soften that in a bit as well. So if I just get a bit of, let's mix a darkish green and just soften that in a bit. Oh, it's quite a yellowish green, which is nice. Gives this a bit of texture and just makes that line across bottom there nice and soft. I think I might do in a minute. In fact, I'm going to do, I'm going to come back in here and try and highlight top of that with some more really yellow. There we are, some yellow on my brush. Just going to highlight top of this. That's where sun's hitting it. do a tiny bit more on top of this one. Just a bit on top of that one. Don't need as much detail on that one because it's further back. There we are. Oh, I do like that. Yeah, that's nice. Right, I think these bits here I'll just pull into my grass. Right, let me just sit back. Yeah, that looks looking pretty good to me. Right, I'll get a quick dry. There's an ear on it. Let it go. Not go. Oh, it's gone, but it's left a little mark. Not to worry about that. Right. I'm tempted to do a bit of creamy colour in this sky. Let's just have a look what's on my brush. I might just put a little bit of creamy colour into that sky. Not much, tiny little bit, just so it's not quite so white. So I'll look, see where I can go. Right, so I've got a bit of creamy colour on my brush. Give this one a wash. Just come in, probably around the bottoms of these clouds a bit. Just a little bit of a creamy colour. I'll pop a little bit in like that and then soften it straight in with this one because I don't want this strong at all. In fact, with them bits, probably stick little bits in from there. Just move it round like that, look, and then move bits in because I do want it really faint. Odd little bits in there. That's all I need. Just a nice creamy colour into that. That worked. I think it's worked. It's all experimental. It's just what you like, but I think that sort of looks okay like that. You've got to go quick, especially on this paper, because it's got these. It just dries into the paper so fast. You don't want no hard edges on this. Like there's a tiny bit of an hard edge, but not to worry. That looks okay to me. And here, look, I've dropped my brush and it's gone onto there. Right, so yeah, I think that looks okay. If I rub that paper too much, it'll just disintegrate because it's not good paper. But in some way it helps. It stops you overworking stuff. So when that's dry, it'll dry a bit lighter than where it is now. Right, so just wash that brush. I think I've done with that now. Squeeze it out. I'm pretty sure I've done with that one. A bit of dry on there. There we are. Right. I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a little gate in here. So, I think I'll just get some Mont Umber for that. Should do it sad. Nice bit of Mont Umber. Right, let's have a look. Just put too much on my brush there. Tiny bit. Right, so I'll do this line on bottom first. Oh, that's perfect. That's a bit of plop on my brush. Can you see it? There's something dragging across my brush. I don't know what it is. There, look, a little hair. Got you. Got it! It's dragged a line over there now. So pop that in there. That in there, that in there. Put some little post, a little post in there. I think that one bush is growing over it. That looks alright, doesn't it? Yeah, sound. So that's that. Right, I'm thinking now. I'll get some little sheep in or something. Could put some little cows in. I've got no reference photo for some cows. If I go for cows, it could be dodgy. Drinking my coffee. I could go for cows, but I've got no reference photo, so it could go totally wrong. So, shall I just, you know what? I don't know. I want to do some cows today. Usually, if I paint some cows, I've got a reference photo. I've got no reference photo. So, if this goes totally wrong, then it's my own stupid fault. But I'm thinking I'm not really going to need that much detail. Let's just try. So cows have got a bit of white and black on, haven't they? So if I get a bit of there, a bit there. How big's a cow? What you've got to look now, you've got to think, how big's a cow compared to that fence? You've got to try and get it right. So if I put his nose about there, for that one, I might get two brushes on go. I can have one with black on, one with white on. So I need another brush about that size. Have I got one? I'm sure I have somewhere. But I've got that much mess, I need to sort my stuff out. Oh, here we are. Perfect. There's a couple here. That's a bit small. That one's perfect. Right, sorted. Right. Let me just mix some jet black now then. Or I could have some brown. Some cows are just brown, aren't they? So I'll mix some jet black or Payne's grey. And I'll mix some brown as well. Some cows are just brown. Just mixing up, softening some paint up. Ready to go. Right, I'm on it now. That brush out of the way. Right, try this brush. Get some black. I know, thought best. We're just hoping thought best now. So there's a little cow's body in there. That's its neck. I think he's got his head down there. That can be his nose. That can be a leg. That can be. If I get some shadows on, this might look alright. In fact, I think it does look alright. That's right, innit? Time I get a shadow on that, it'll look exactly like a cow. Trust me. I'll tell you what I could do. I could have a cow here. But this will be easy to do. Let's put him about here. And just have his bum. And that's easy to do. If I've just got his bum. And then I'll leave a white bit there. Let's have a go at this. So, and then I'll have a white bit here. Just as he's bending down on that bit there. It can have a white leg there, look. And his head's out of view, and then I'll give him a white bit there. That looks like a cow just bending over eating some grass that way, so that looks alright. I think I'm going to need a few more time. 24 minutes. I don't want to take up too much of your time. That's what I always do, take too much of your time up. I'll tell you what, let's keep this white going. A little bit more white on the brush. I think we'll do the same here. Have another one here. In fact, shall I have one? No. Do it here. Have another one here, doing exactly the same thing. But I don't want to be repetitive, so I'm going to have this one with a white bum, and he's going to be facing slightly that way. think I've quite got enough white paint on my brush. Let me get a dab more. That's better. You can't paint without paint. So I'll go there. That's his little white leg there. White leg there. There we are. So that colour his bum in. He's going to have a black bum there, and then this bit of his body there, a bit black, and maybe his head's coming down there like that, eating a bit of grass. I'll give him a little white head there. You can hardly see his white head, but I don't think it matters. So that's two. They are just registering in my brain as little cows. That's pretty good. Right. I think what I've done now. Let's do a brown one. Some brown paint on me now. Let's have now one here. Bring this one a bit closer. That one's got his head down. I don't think that's gone very brown. I think it's more of a black still. That's his head. It's down there like that. There we are. Some more paint. This white paint. Plenty of white paint. This is white. Now, apparently, I keep calling it white gouache, but it's apparently called gouache. A little white leg there, a little white leg there. So he's sort of looking at us a bit straight on. Actually, he's looking a bit small. I can make him a bit bigger. He's slightly closer than others. Something more like that, I think. I'll have to cover a couple of them legs back up. He's got 1, 2, 3. But he's got more legs than he should have. But I'll cover that up when I put shadow in. So that's that. I might leave it at that. There's 4 cows there painting. If you want to put loads in, it will look good with some more in, but I don't want to take up all day painting cows. So now I'll give this a dry and I'll make these cows look realistic now. That'll do. I'll just mix up now a bit of shadow colour. So if I get that, get some purple. Purple always looks good for shadows. Oh, that looks nice. Got a bit of really mucky purple. Now I've literally just, there's mud on my palette. I've mixed it in with some mud on my palette. What's not very helpful to tell you how I mixed the colour, but I'd say if you mix some purple and a bit of Payne's grey and a bit of burnt umber, you'll get this sort of mucky colour what I've got. Right, so now, right, I'll have to decide now which way my light's coming in. So I think, yeah, I'm going to have it coming in this way. I think, yeah. So in fact that means I can put a bit of this purple down there onto this white, and then under there where he's eating and that, and then give him a nice shadow there. That one there, that's his head, that's his legs. Nice shadow coming across this way. I'll probably soften these shadows a bit in a minute. Just getting the basic bit in for now. This one here, across there. Something like that. I'm just thinking this one here, if it's got lights coming in that way, that side might be a little bit darker. Same with this one. That side might be a bit darker on him. Let's go a bit of shadow down that side of his leg. This one, maybe he's just put him a leg there and a leg there, and just shade in a bit on the bottom of his body. This one. A little bit of green on this one because he's got more legs than he needs. So I've got to cover a leg up. There's a leg there, look. Cover it up. There we are. He's back to 2 legs again. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Cows, by the way, they only have 2 legs. His head looks funny because his legs blending into his head. So these things, that's his legs and his head. But they're quite far away still, so you ain't got to get, or even try to get, every single detailing of these cows. And if you do, it's probably not going to work. So you're better off just doing like that. That's enough to register as a few cows there at the bottom of that field. There's no detail in it. Like I say, he's got, well, he's positioned his head. I sort of got his leg with there as well, but that is where his leg would have sat. So I've left it like that. Yeah, I think that looks alright. Don't know if I really ought to have a bit of... I suppose that's the shadow. Ah, that's soft on the bottom. That's because the shadow is blurring across there. So I can class that blurry bit as my shadow. So I don't have to worry about that really. Put a bit of purple in, but I don't think I'm going to bother. That's all supposed to be soft and smear it like that. I think I'll get away with that. There's actually some little bits, like twigs and branches and stuff on some of this edge. Put some of them in. It looks nice, doesn't it? Just a couple. That looks nice. I'll just do a little bit of shadow. I can use this big brush. I'll just do a little bit of a hint of a shadow just coming off some of it. That's it, that's just a hint of a shadow, but I think that all this soft stuff, where it's all going soft, it looks like a shadow anyway. A bit better now. That's it. It's just a hint of a bit of a shadow coming across. And it sort of gets a bit hazy in here anyway. So yeah, I'm quite happy at that. Right. Now then, 34 minutes. Right, so where shall we put? Peter and Paul are looking for worms. I think this is dry enough. I'll tell you what, let's go right up here. Peter, Paul. There we are. Nice dry bit here. Quite like that. I'm just going to stand back and have a look, see what I think. I'm glad I put cows in there now. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah. So there you are, that's a nice little one to do. Still took up a bit more of your time than what I meant to. But there you are. So, bit of depth. Looks quite 3-dimensional because I've used my cool colours at the back there. That's like a cool blue, and then it gradually gets warmer, adding more yellows and greens in. So it gives it that 3-dimensional look. And if you follow them constructions and have a go yourself in it. See you on the beach.